Hi, Katie.
Hi again. We're working on this.
Right. We finally got the camera to start counting down. So,
Now it's counting up.
right, or up, yes. So take three,
Take three.
if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Tell me about your tell me what it was like living in your previous house.
I love my little house, but it was stuffed with things that I had to walk around, climb over, reposition if I wanted to get anything or find anything, and it was getting frustrating. And the problem with that whole thing, and I think a lot of hoarders encounter this, is you get to a certain saturation point where you're frozen in a standstill and you're not knowing which way to turn because everywhere you look there's a pile of something,
Mm-hmm.
and no matter how many piles you go through there's always going to be another pile of something. And one of the wonderful things about having an organizer is they focus your attention on the tree and not the forest.
Mm-hmm.
The wonderful thing about working with you is you come in and you can say, okay, today we are going to work on this cabinet. And I'll say, great, let's work on this cabinet. And I don't have to focus on anything else. We focus on the cabinet.
Right.
What is in the cabinet? What is going to go in the cabinet? What is going to go out of the cabinet? What the cabinet is going to be used for,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to just some place to put something. Which has been very good for me because if I'm finding that if I don't have a place to put something, I'm not going to get that something.
Nice.
Like you're saying, okay, this cabinet is for this. We do not need another this. We have plenty of this.
Mm-hmm.
It filled a cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need another this. It could be anything from a magazine subscription to a new craft or a new project or something like that.
Right. When someone knocks on the door or calls you and says, "Hey, I'm in the neighborhood. I can stop over." How do you feel?
Not as challenged as I used to be. Well, I do take a quick review of what the house looks like, make sure my bed's made,
Right.
and the towels are hung up in the bathroom and stuff like that, and that the dishes are, at least in the sink,
Mm-hmm.
and that things are, relatively
In
put
your
together.
in your previous house, if the doorbell rang or
Uh-huh.
someone called and said, "I'm in the neighborhood. I can be there in 10 minutes." How would you feel?
I'd feel scared, nervous, very nervous, and I'd try to deflect
Mm-hmm.
that person saying, "Oh, well, let's go have a cup of coffee at Spot, or let's go have let's go grab some lunch at Panos or something like that." I'd do anything I could to deflect them away from coming in.
So what's it like now to be able to open your door to people?
It's totally different, totally
Mm-hmm.
different. I find that I'm given 10, 15 minutes notice. The place can look presentable. I mean, it's
That's
still a little cluttered, it's still a little messy, but I'm not.
that's life changing.
That is, for me, it is.
Yeah.
For me, it is. And I have cousins who want to see the house. I have family who comes by. Oh, what did you get that's new? You
Mm-hmm.
know, things like that.
That's awesome. And how does that make you feel about yourself?
A lot better. A
Mm-hmm.
lot better. I'm making decisions or life decisions for myself that I would not have even considered um, a couple of years ago, or even last couple of months.
Wow.
I really have sat down and reviewed my life, and now that my living environment's somewhat under control, or getting under control, I should say, I can start looking at other things like my health, my situation as far as teaching, my relationships with different people.
So you would say being organized has affected even not
Oh
just your
yeah,
relationships with yourself, but obviously
with other
relationships with
people.
other
Yeah,
people.
definitely.
That's a
If
beautiful
you
thing.
if you come from a base of where you get up in the morning and okay, everything is where I left it. Everything was put away last night. or I have these things to do tomorrow before I go out or before I do anything else. It's a lot more assuring, getting up or even going to bed that night. I've also found that bribery works a lot. Well,
who's bribing who?
I'm bribing myself. For instance, if I get through, I make a list, and if I get through at least most of that list, or if not all of it, I can give myself a treat.
Nice.
And it could be to sit down and watch a movie, or it could be to go out and meet some friends, or go do something else. And I'm finding that it's bribery. Well, it helped when I quit smoking years ago. Back then, it was videos and books. If I didn't buy cigarettes, I could reward myself by getting a book or a video or something like that.
Right.
So I'm finding bribery is working again.
Good. And bribery for positive thing.
Oh, yeah.
Positive thing. Watching a movie instead of creating a new bad habit. And I do have to say, Katie, how I've seen you grow. When I ask you questions, sometimes I do kind of look for an answer. And when we're talking about putting our things away when they come into the house, and we're talking about defining your done. So I said, how do you define your done grocery shopping? And in my mind, I was thinking when the bags are empty. You took it two steps farther and said when the bags are folded and put away. So
right.
to be with you on this journey and watching you grow has been an amazing blessing experience for
I'm
me.
glad
and I
you've enjoyed
thank
it.
You, of course.
I certainly have.
Good.
I certainly have been enjoying it very much. It's my highlight for the end of my week.
Yay.
Every Friday, Allie's coming over.
So when I knock on the door, there's no, Allie's here. Oh,
quick, Allie's here.
I like it. Well, Katie, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your interview.